Atlanta FaZe is pretty freaking good at search and destroy. They are currently 11-1 in the Call of Duty League in SnD, dominating everyone they play. They have over a 63% round win percentage, and they lead the league in first blood percentage. 56% of rounds they get first blood. Not only that, but they also lead the league in winning 3v4. So when they're down a man, they are by far best in the league at winning in those situations, currently winning it over 47% of the time, when the next highest in the CDL is 34%. So it is beyond insane what FaZe has been doing so far this year, and today we're talking about what makes them so special, and specifically what makes the Tiny Terrors as dangerous as they are, the best SnD duo in the Call of Duty League right now, and really over the past 3 years. So without further ado, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. Let's go. So this whole weekend during Major 1, when I'm sitting there watching FaZe, I'm like, yo, that's a learn from the pros moment. Like, yo, that's an insane play right there. And so we're taking 2 games here from the grand finals of the Major. FaZe v Dallas, of course, both SnDs from this series. And there is so many great moments in this series against a great team like Dallas Empire. So we're going to start this off, like, you know how this goes, to learn from the pros, talk about a handful of things that all of these guys do incredibly well. So let's get right into this one. Let's go. All right, so clip 1's pretty straightforward. It's an example of how the Tiny Terrors play together, how Simp and aBeZy play off of each other, and they use each other at different moments. You're gonna see that as a theme throughout all of these clips, how these two guys are so dangerous together. And this first one's a great example of that. I think it's gonna be pretty obvious off the rip, but let's check it out and pay attention to how these guys use each other's positioning to their advantage as they play for mid control and raid. Let's check it out.
Opens it up, able to close that out as well.
Well, they're just flying up mid again. aBeZy, they're going to get caught. The first one for Shotzzy, but Simp takes down all 3.
What in the world, man? You know how that goes, and they play that together really well. Inside of mid, Dallas had some issues there with their strategies of giving up mid control to FaZe and letting Simp and aBeZy dominate this game on raid through mid. It was a huge issue for Dallas. But again, Simp and aBeZy usually have this understanding that generally aBeZy is the guy that goes first. He loves going for those first bloods. He is the first blood wizard when it comes to finding those first kills inside of search and destroy rounds. But aBeZy goes in first. Simp cleans up the 3-piece there. Insane gun skill from him. He knows that Cellium is there, backed by Laundry Stairs, trying to find that information as well. So Simp has the ability to challenge that with Cellium putting pressure on the front. And so that's just great minimap awareness from Cellium, from Simp, and how they play off each other there to find a 3-piece and win that round early on here in raid. Things you'll have to see here in clip 1. So heading into clip 2, it's a very different contrast here because Dallas actually does play this pretty well. There's an unfortunate team kill, but really it's forced by aBeZy's gun skill here. So what you gotta pay attention to is, first of all, the flank from Simp. And this is something that Simp loves doing. He loves positioning himself to have a chance to hit these flanks and push these weird angles based generally off of aBeZy's positioning on the map. And that's something you're gonna see exactly how this plays out here, is because aBeZy's kind of on the water stairs area. Simp is wrapping to pinch water stairs. The timing is a little bit off, and we'll see that here. So check that out. Pay attention to the positioning from Simp, and I'll show another example of that here in a second as well. Let's go.
ILLeY made some huge plays defensively last time around, but they couldn't get the round win.
It's a little bit different. The one player is Simp, who's kind of playing on an island.
Oh wait, okay, so real quick, pause it there. So again, you see that team kill is very unfortunate, but that's forced by aBeZy's gun skill, like I said. And now if you're Dallas, you're in a 2v1, bombs down. You have to assume that bombs planted for window, so you have to assume that Simp is playing that side somewhere. But, you know, it is Simp, so they assume that it's probably possible that he hits a flank. The instincts from Simp here are insane. Let's check it out.
It's all down to Simp. They're going to know. They're going to know he's going to be working a flank. Grim, what time is he going to get? He's going to get caught. Where is Hook on the trade? Hook's trying to work on up. I think he's going to hear him, though. He's going to hear him. There's the gunfight, and Simp closes out another one.
Man, that is just overall great COD from Simp there. After he finds that first kill, you have to assume that the player in a 2v1 is near bomb or on bomb. So that's why Simp throws that Semtex at bomb off the rip. And that's why he even allows himself to go to window in the first place, because he knows he has a Semtex to check the bomb if he needs to. And so that's exactly what happens right there. So speaking of flanks, here's another example of how Simp is so good at utilizing the map in this way inside of Search and Destroy. So this was actually in round 1, which will give a little bit of context to what we just saw. So as you're seeing here, Simp finds the kill on Shotzzy in mid. Then he wraps all the way back towards top window to play with Cellium up there. And what you're gonna see is it ends up becoming a 2v1, and Simp decides, instead of waiting on bomb, which would be a fairly decent play here with Cellium on top window, he wraps back through the spawn towards mid, and that frees up the clutch here for FaZe. And this is what Simp is so good at doing, utilizing the space on the map, finding the open holes, and we're gonna see even more of that moving forward here. And it's just insanely good COD from Simp and from FaZe as a whole, playing off the bomb site and utilizing the bomb site as an anchor point for their setups, and understanding that timing there is really important. And that's something that we can all work on when we're playing COD or playing GBs or League Play or whatever it is. It's just really, really impressive stuff from FaZe and from Simp. So alrighty, so now the next clip, we're gonna be talking about how Simp and aBeZy use each other's positioning to their advantage. And this is some like definitely duo type stuff right here with how they like to play. So aBeZy, as you're gonna see here right here on Garrison, he's watching these crosses above Simp, where Simp is chilling behind bomb in the corner, waiting for the callouts from aBeZy to challenge. So this is a whole different take on what it looks like to play off of your teammates, where Simp can just wait for a Dallas player to peek aBeZy and then come in and trade the kills. So this is a situation where, sure, aBeZy might die at some point here, but you know, the death of aBeZy allows Simp to dominate. And this is kind of like a lot of context for inside of the stats themselves, where, okay, yeah, Simp has this insane KD right now, but that's only because aBeZy is playing for the information so well. So that's what you're seeing right here. It's really, really, really good stuff. Let's check out the gameplay real quick. We're not gonna show the whole thing since I've already showed some of it, but it's really nice. Let's check it out.
Well, I think Shotzzy was trying to catch Simp, but he gets caught by aBeZy. Simp, pre-fire down low. He'll take down 2. Hook, well, it was a 1v3. Now you got a tougher test, a 1v4. He will fall. 5-2 now to Atlanta FaZe.
So there you go. You see aBeZy finding the information, allowing Simp to pinch both sides there. Easy kills for FaZe and how they play that so patiently, forcing Dallas to make the first move. aBeZy playing his life, and that opens up so much and makes the round so much easier for you. That's just awesome SnD as a whole from FaZe. So now let's give some perspective to another way how that can look on a completely different map, and this is on Raid. And let's pay attention right here. You're seeing aBeZy and Simp's setup inside of mid on Raid, man. And again, like I said earlier, they are so dangerous in these types of situations. They love playing off of each other in this way, and this is when aBeZy feels the most free to make play after play. So let's just roll this one, and you're gonna notice those same themes. Let's check it out.
Towards apartment, just looking for any opening, but nobody's home for FaZe. We'll see if this time they play a little more passive, allow the bomb to get down and play the retake. Nice shots. aBeZy with his second in the round. Now 4v2 advantage.
You can see the way they're playing it. And Cellium just making sure nobody rotates through B or through pillars. He's watching over aBeZy. You have Simp playing inside of money. aBeZy's going to hear that. The jump shot with the 74U. ILLeY is tagged up. Simp's coming through pillars. He wants another one. And
again, man, aBeZy's doing a lot of that work there, but he has the freedom to challenge those gunfights because Simp is going to be there for the trades if he goes down. There's that big time trust factor and that communication with FaZe there, where they know that those are gunfights that aBeZy can try to take, and he has the freedom to do so. And it makes FaZe very unpredictable to play because you can never really exactly dial in where aBeZy or Simp could be on the map, and it makes them very difficult to read and make play calls off of, and makes teams very hesitant against them because of the freedom that they give Simp and aBeZy to play off of each other inside of mid like that and hit these weird angles and challenge those types of gunfights as a whole. That is such tough SnD to defend against when they're playing like that. So here's another example of what makes FaZe so dominant, and another reason why aBeZy and Simp are so good. Another reason why Simp and aBeZy are so good as a duo as well is how they play for information on the map. aBeZy is so good at this. If he doesn't get the first blood, one thing he for sure did was get a ton of information for FaZe, and that's a big reason for why they can clutch 47% of 3v4s that they're in, because of the information that they have, and that information allows them to have better anticipation than basically any other team out there right now. So let's check this out. Pay attention to how aBeZy is shouldering and sliding across, finding the information. Simp is playing the windows. Sometimes this causes you to get first blooded, and you're gonna see what happens here, but then you'll see what happens following that. Let's check out the whole sequence. Let's go.
Playing underneath this time around. Cellium looking for the angle. And aBeZy still just shoulder. What can I find? More damage in, but for now, still stays alive. Just back and forth he goes.
And they really haven't played many of rounds in the vent. Has been Cellium and aBeZy just controlling the positions they have. But there we go. There's the take now. So they know they're down a man. They're going to try and work outside of cap. But look at Dallas Empire. They were ready for it. But ILLeY, he's going to get taken down from a nice angle from Arcitys. And he just plays his life. They don't even have the bomb down yet. Now Shotzzy going to go for this plant.
Can he get it down and get away? There's the nade in. Not going to happen. Arcitys takes him down. 3v2 now, and Cellium just gets the spot. It's all on Crim to make the play at a 1 versus 3. Takes down Simp, and the trade is through.
That is insane SnD, and FaZe makes it look so easy. But guys, I'm telling you, it's not. Like I said, that information that aBeZy and Simp found early in the round allows them to count the names on the minimap. So then that conversation would sound something like, we saw Shotzzy here, we know Hook is here, we saw ILLeY here, where's Crimsix? And that means, okay, Crim is probably sitting top floating or back behind floating somewhere, or maybe top green. Let's try to figure that out and isolate him. So FaZe is isolating the players and isolating the parts of the map that each of these individual players are currently, and keeping a very, very strong, vivid mental note of where these guys are on the map. And that allows them to very quickly isolate these guys out, anticipate where they're going to be, and like just straight up, like absolute killers, eliminating them one by one very, very quickly. It is absolutely beautiful search and destroy to watch, and gets me so excited checking that out like that. So here's our final clip, and it's pretty straightforward. When you give FaZe an inch, they take a foot. And what that means is when you let FaZe get a kill, they are pushing up exactly where that kill happened and trying to find more. And so what you're gonna see here, it's another 3v4, and FaZe plays this perfectly. So when you're watching this, pay attention to Simp on the minimap, his gunfight, and then his movement after he finds the kill. Let's check it out.
One thing I noticed, there's a very aggressive setup here from Empire. You have Hook top green. And he makes the play. Him and ILLeY, they're both up there. Grim gets taken down 3v3. He'll have Shotzzy in the vent. Shotzzy watching his back, but Simp able to take him down.
Well, you had numbers, but only for a moment if you're Empire. Edge now over to FaZe. ILLeY, though, who's been hot. We'll see if he can hit the shots again. Some tags in, position given up. Simp's going to push it out and Simp will find the kill.
And Hook just doesn't think he pushed through green towards bricks, and he does. Cellium rotates on through.
That movement is outrageous, man. And how they play off of each other there, it frees them up to move incredibly quick around the map. And that makes it even tougher for Empire to keep a gauge of where Simp might be. It's kind of like the zombies idea. When you're playing zombies, and if you kill all the zombies in front of you, you know that there probably only are zombies behind you. And that's kind of the same thing. It's the same idea at SnD, where if you kill Crim on that long line of sight, you now have the 3v3. You know that one is at least top green. You have at least an idea that you might have a chance to isolate them out. And again, this is another situation where they're counting the kills very well. They know that they have not seen Shotzzy this round. That probably means that he is sitting inside vents. Because of that hunch that they have, Simp takes that chance to push up through mid and hit Shotzzy in vents from behind like that. Awesome. SnD as a whole. And these are all some of the small things that FaZe does every single match. The communication, the positioning, the awareness, the patience to play for those first bloods, finding those first bloods. And there's always moments where players can improve and they can make better plays. I mean, even inside of a lot of these moments, there were times where you're like, okay, FaZe could have played that better. For example, on this clip right here on Raid, like aBeZy finds the first blood and he could have played this even better. He got away with his life. He got away. He made it happen. That's awesome SnD. But for whatever reason, he decides to rechow on stairs. It costs them and they end up blowing the round because of the over-aggressive push from aBeZy the second time. And then Simp comes in and gets a little bit greedy too. So there are moments there where you can always improve and always can look to try to play a better round or a better moment or a better situation. And even the pros have a ton to work on and can still improve. Even the best teams in SnD can still try to find those small things or moments where they can improve themselves as well. So as a whole, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully you understand a little bit better about why FaZe dominates in SnD, and maybe you took away a few things that you can learn as well. If you guys did, I would really appreciate if you guys share the video, like, comment, subscribe, did whatever you did, and any of the promotion goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. I'm trying this full time, so every piece of support goes a long way, and I really do appreciate it. But as always, guys, I'm your boy CDL, and guys, we will see you next time. I'm out.